Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of my Hartford Whalers franchise most here right here in NHL 18. You already know this, and in this episode today, the reigning and defending Stanley Cup champion Whalers take on the St. Louis Blues in the first round. The 47-win Blues. I don't know how confident I am heading into this series. Simple fact is, we're 16 wins away from the Cup. 16 wins away from a repeat. But can we afford to look that far down the road? No, we cannot. But I wanted to bring it up early just to see if the EA jinx is a real thing. As we get a look at the Blues lineup, I'll tempt fate again by saying I'd like to think we should win this series. Top line of Robbie Fabry. Of course, we're not going to be able to see any of the point totals, but you can imagine what players did well. Robbie Fabry with Ryan Johansson and Vladimir Tarasenko, who I'm going to guess had at least 80 points. Actually, we already know he had 50 goals. Yeah, he had the 99 points. Right as I clicked on that, I remembered. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He and John Tavares tore the league apart. I should have remembered that. Damn. Second line, surprisingly, it's Jaden Schwartz. Now, typically, they would still have Schwartz be on that top line, and of course, he would always be up around 70, 80 points because he'd be playing with Tarasenko. Case in point, clearly this season is when Robbie Fabry improved enough because he dropped off big time, at least in terms of plus minus. He is on the second line with Kevin Stenlund, a name from the past with the Blue Jackets / Nordique series from NHL 17, a fourth line player on the second line, Nail Yakupov, also a first line guy. So they have, Robbie Fabry's only a second line guy, so it's that much more surprising that Schwartz isn't on the top line. But Schwartz, Stenlund, and Yakupov. I can't help but wonder how good Stenlund did this past season. Surprise, surprise, 54 points when you have that type of offensive firepower to work with. Third line, Tobias Reeder is with Alan McShane, 36th overall pick in 2018, and Cam Atkinson, now 35 years old. He is a 79 overall. We move on to the fourth line. Adam Heluka. Adam. Centered by Alex Burmistrov and Nikita Soshnikov. How many OVs do you need? They only have 2. Anyway, as I mentioned, I would like to think we have the slight edge, not by much, but slight. On the defensive side of things, we definitely have the advantage. Oh my God. Top pairing, Ryan McDonough is with Josh Manson. Second pairing is Colin Miller with Colton Parayko. Their best defensemen's on the second pairing. And the third pairing, Gustav Forsling with Mark Borowiecki. And his missing teeth. The big question, of course, right now is goaltending and injuries potentially. And speaking of goaltending and injuries, they're one and the same. Jake Allen currently out injured. Let's take a look. He is their starter, so we'll be going up against Evan Fitzpatrick in round 1, who played quite a few games, 36 appearances, a very respectable .923 save percentage. The backup goalie is Chris Lacosta. So needless to say, if we have the opportunity to chase Evan Fitzpatrick out of the goal, that should be a guaranteed win. We should win that game no matter what. Injuries, though. Jake Allen, currently out. Nate Schmidt and Scott Mayfield, currently healthy scratches. The biggest injury is to the real best defenseman on their team. No disrespect to Colton Parayko, but Alex Pietrangelo, currently out injured. That is a major game changer for the Blues. And needless to say, much like with the goaltending situation, we should win this series. We need to take advantage of this. How long are they out for? Pietrangelo Allen's done for the year. Pietrangelo's done until the second round at the earliest for the Blues. So they are without their starting goaltender and their best defenseman. If we can't take advantage of this, we don't deserve a damn thing. By the way, the Connecticut Whale will be playing the Belleville Sens in round 1. We'll keep an eye out on that series, but of course our focus will mainly be on the NHL club as we get ready for the beginning of this series. There's no reason to lose, which is exactly why we will lose. First period of game 1 here on home ice in Hartford, and we do get the opening goal. Phil Quick gets it on Evan Fitzpatrick. We were outshot 9-8 actually, but Phil gets the only goal of the first period. Second period, can we maintain the lead? Okay. Adam Hiluka. Adam tied it. Daniel Sprong restores the lead. It was 2-1 at that point. And then right at the end of the period, Nadia Yakupov and Josh Manson. 2 goals on what I imagine were more than likely consecutive shots. A very rough end to the second period. And we find ourselves down 3-2 as we begin the sim of the third period. I'm not too impressed. And now I'm really not impressed with Jyrki Petrolainen. He gives up a 4th goal. This one to Vladimir Tarasenko again on an outside shot. We witnessed last year in the build-up to our eventual cup win, Petrolainen has struggled a bit. He might not be the most consistent goalie in the postseason, and despite having a great regular season, he lost us this game. There's no other way to put it. All 4 shots were from outside. You get one just within the circle, outside of the face-off circle. Not even, very high slot. And then from the boards by Tarasenko. Petrolainen wasn't good enough. And I'm sure his save percentage confirms that. .871. Not good enough from Jyrki Petrolainen. And that is, of course, a very rough way to start this series as the Blues take game 1 on the road. Josh Manson was the first star of the game. And to compound, or to compile on top of that, to add to the disappointment, the Whale also lost game 1 of their series. Now, I did say in the last episode, if we don't find any playoff success, I'm not going to be too upset about it. We are the defending champions. Sure, I'd love to win again, but I also know that the future is still incredibly bright for this team, especially with the players we currently have in the AHL. This team's going to be drastically different as soon as next season. So with that said, I'd still like to win with the players we have now so that they can leave and hopefully go enjoy the rest of their careers, knowing that they were champions. Then again, most of this team, this team's basically the same now, actually. The only guy who wasn't a part of the cup-winning team is Oberg, if I'm not mistaken. So who cares? Win or lose, I can't say I'll be too upset, but of course we always want to win. First period of game 2 is scoreless. We outshot them 17-7, so that's definitely a victory for the Blues to still be tied in this game. Second period, we're tied no longer. Warren Dirksen with the lone goal of the second. 31 shots to 14 in our favor. Thankfully, so far so good from Jyrki Petrolainen. And Dirksen is able to get us on the board. Evan Fitzpatrick standing on his head trying to keep his team in this as we start the sim on the third period. Pressure's on. I have a feeling we're going to need an insurance goal. We have a power play opportunity 5-on-3 that we can't take advantage of. And then the Blues tie it just after the halfway point of the third. Kevin Stenlund with the goal. 3 minutes to go. Are we headed to overtime? Yes, we are. 40 shots to 21. I don't blame Petrolainen. I blame our offense for not finding a way to beat Evan Fitzpatrick. And now we are in severe danger. We could potentially be down 2-0 after this one, at the end of this game. Well, I can't hype it up anymore. Overtime in game 2. Let's go. We need a win. Power play chance for the Blues. They can't capitalize on it. And it didn't matter because just after Cam Atkinson takes a shot from the point that beats Petrolainen, and despite outshooting the Blues 43-24, they take the game in overtime. 2-1 final. Evan Fitzpatrick with 42 saves. And the defending champions are in a little bit of trouble. My main question is, how do we have a 5-on-3 in the third period? By the way, there was a fight between Colin Miller and Phil Quick. In the third period, Adam and Colton Parayko, back-to-back minors, hooking and holding. And we weren't able to take advantage of it. And it was Austin Watson who took the penalty that they scored on fairly quickly after that. Good thing is the Connecticut Whale won game 2. The bad news is we're in a really bad spot. That's the only way to put it. The bad news is we're in a bad spot. We're down 0-2. The series moves to St. Louis for games 3 and 4. And that, yeah, I'd say that's a problem, fellas. Nobody's scoring. Our fourth line is struggling. You know what? I'm already going drastic changes. Let's go. I'm not messing around. I am not going to wait until it's too late. Oberg, Roberts, and Andrews, you are being sent down in favor of Spike Rowe. We have multiple 77 overall players that we can find or that we can call up here who may just want this a little bit more than you do. Bruce Andrechuk gets the call up. And from there, Stoll, just it's the shot that really bothers me. We're going for Ralph McAllister. Let's go. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and wait around and have this opportunity pass us by. Let's make these changes right now. Jones, Watson, and Radish is the new fourth line. On the third line, we're rolling with McAllister, Rowe, and Andrechuk. As far as the top line goes, I'm going to do the same change we did last year during the postseason. Lydecker, McKinnon, Sprong, Dirksen, Quick, and Patrick. And we'll see how that goes. Some drastic changes to this team, but again, I am not going to sit around and wait for us to screw ourselves out of this opportunity. Down in the AHL, we'll just go best lines, which is really what we should do anyway. And we'll see what happens. Although, Stoll and Trafford, let's put them on the top line. Let's drop down Pressburg. Who's a better center? Pressburg is over Menard. Let's see. Serrata's a great center, actually. Avery or Stoll. Let's go with Kirk Avery. And the top line is set. On defense, they're good to go as well. Crosby and Stützle as a pairing. We'll see how they do. So some drastic changes to this lineup. 3 players, all making their NHL debut, which is what I thought I'd say at the beginning of next season. Their time is now. Because desperate times call for desperate measures. Not happy whatsoever with the fourth line that we previously had. So let's go. First period of Game 3 in St. Louis. If games 1 and 2 weren't must win, this certainly is. First period, and there we go. 2 goals from the new third line of McAllister and Spike Rowe. Both of them get their first career NHL goal in a playoff game within, within 12 minutes. Math. It's simple, really. McAllister gets it just over 5 minutes into the game. Nolan Patrick added another one 1 minute and 15 seconds later, and then Spike Rowe gets his first NHL goal. We outshot them 11-8, and we were able to get to Evan Fitzpatrick early. What a perfect start. That is what I'm talking about. Coaching. Decision-making. Other words. Second period. How about that for a word? Lucas Lydecker makes it 4. He scores on LaCosta. We better add another 16 goals here in this third period, but we're up 4-0. At the end of the second, 21 shots to 17. This game is over. As I clear my throat, this game's over. No doubt. No doubt. Austin Watson makes it 5. He gets the goal on LaCosta. The Blues are putting up a fight. As far as catching up in the shot department, we are actually all tied up. As I say this, we have a power play opportunity. that we can't do anything with. I'm kind of frustrated that LaCosta only gave up 2 goals. Never mind, it's 6. Harkin scores with 2 seconds later, just for fun. 6-0 final in Game 3 after the lineup changes. Jyrki Petrolainen with the 27-save shutout. 3-point night for Kelly Appleby. 2-point night for Lucas Lydecker. I can't help it that I'm just that good of a coach and a motivator to give these young players an opportunity. A 667 save percentage for Fitzpatrick and 857 for LaCosta. The fact that the 50-whatever overall goalie he is made 18 saves is kind of frustrating, but that just shows you how this game works, I do suppose. Of course, we already looked at the top stars. What a game. What a performance. And the Whalers are right back in this series, not to mention the Connecticut Whale have now won 2 in a row. Things are looking good. Things are looking up. Daniel Sprong, 4 points in 3 games. That's much better. Much better. Lydecker got his first 2 points. McKinnon got 2 points now. Sprong has 4. Dirksen, Quick and Patrick really need to step up. But my God, look at that line. Every single one of them, +2. What more could you have asked for? It's just what I do. I make these decisions, and it works out. What can I say? Sorry. Game 4 in St. Louis. Time for the Blues to kick me right back down to reality, as I'm sure we'll get absolutely stepped on in this game. First period is scoreless. We outshot them 17-11. Second period is not scoreless. Austin Watson gets the goal, performing much better now that he's back on the 4th line. I said that the Jones, Watson, and Radish line was better suited for the 4th line. So far, so good with that assumption. Would it be presumption or assumption? Doesn't matter. So far, so good with that statement. Third period, here in Game 4. Have a feeling we're going to need insurance because of the Blues' offensive capabilities, but we are looking good. 12 minutes to go. Can we tie up this series? Power play opportunity halfway through the third. We can't take advantage of it. 5 minutes to go. Can Jyrki Petrolainen shut the door? Yes, he can. Back-to-back shutouts for Jyrki Petrolainen. My favorite for the Vezina this season, and yours. He gets the job done. 41 save effort for Evan Fitzpatrick. Deserving of the first star of the game. Austin Watson, of course, with the GWG, was your 3rd star. And we have battled back. Unfortunately, we've lost Phil Quick to injury. Very disappointing. However, it's not like he was setting the world on fire here, let's be honest. And the question is, who do we call back up? And the funny thing is, that first line that we reunited really struggled in that last game. So we're looking at Trafford, Avery, or Stoll. Trafford has 3 points. It's going to be Trafford. Kip Trafford's getting the call up. Let's go. We're going to reward him for doing so well. It's risky, of course, to take away a player who is doing so well. Let's reunite that 4th line because we're keeping them together. And Spike Rowe, you guessed it, will be getting the chance on that 2nd line. Now, because of his defensive abilities, I know he's a little bit weaker at faceoffs. We're going to have Trafford at center. Although, let's go with that. Let's go with that. So, Lydecker, McKinnon, Sprong, Dirksen, Rowe, Patrick. Spike Rowe, 75 faceoffs. Not bad. Jones, Watson, Radish, McAllister, Trafford, and Andrechuk. We'll also change that around, and we're good. So go best lines down in the AHL. That puts Marcus Nilsson into the lineup. And we're good. Kind of. Sort of. Good enough, at least. We're good enough. Adequate. We have tied this series up. Unfortunately, the Connecticut Whale are going to a 5th and decisive, or 5th and final game. A decisive Game 5. I'm not using the right words to describe these games, but damn it, that's okay. I'm recording this after another 5.5 hour stream. I've streamed for, man, it must be 18, 19, no, hold on. It's like 6 hours, 7 hours. Yeah, like 19, 20 hours over the past 3 days. So the fact that my brain is still functioning, the fact that I'm still able to speak, you should be commending me for. Now, because, of course, this is essentially a Game 7, it's a Game 5 in the first round of the AHL playoffs, we will pay attention to it. Connecticut and Belleville, who will be moving on to the second round. Let's find out, how will the Whale react to losing so many players? Well, they'll react by not scoring a goal in the first period. We outshot them 9-5, but we were not able to take advantage of it. Second period, still scoreless, 20 shots to 14 in our favor, and that sets up this third period. An early power play chance passes us by, and some guy named Zadorov gets the goal on Jones. We find ourselves down 1-0 halfway through the third period. A power play chance for the Sens is killed off, and McGillis gets the goal. The fourth liner scores on Robichaud. Will we be going to overtime in Game 5? No, we won't. Ulf Prestberg with the goal. What a comeback in the final 7 minutes or so. McGillis scores with 6:39 remaining. Prestberg gets the game winner and the series clinching goal with 16 seconds to go in the third period. Gilbert Robichaud. I mean, I'm being obnoxious, obviously. That's kind of my thing. Was your first star of the game with 32 saves. Lawrence Jones, 23 saves, only gave up the 1 goal. And Ulf Prestberg with your GWG clinches the series for the Connecticut Whale. They will live to see another day, no matter how disappointed Captain Chris Rumble is about that. Changing our focus back to the Whalers. It's Game 5. We're on home ice. The home team has yet to win in this series, and I'd certainly like to change that right here and right now to win our third straight game and take a 3-2 series lead back to St. Louis. First period, and unfortunately Alan McShane gets the first goal from a pretty terrible angle, getting scored on like an EASHL goalie. They outshot us 10-6, and we're down after the opening 20 minutes. I am concerned about how our team's going to react, of course. Missing out on someone like Phil Quick could be devastating. Second period. Now Yakupov made it 2-0. Thankfully, Provorov was able to get a goal back. We are outshooting them 18-16, but so far, the Blues have been able to overcome that. I mean, it's not like they're getting killed at shots. It's 2-1 as we begin the sim on the third period. Early power play opportunity that we cannot score on, which is incredibly disappointing. Provorov still the only person to score. We have another power play chance, and it's Spike Rowe. He's on the power play, and he's delivering. Lucas Lydecker gives us the lead. 2 quick goals from Rowe and Lydecker. Can we hold on over the next 2 minutes to win this game? Yes, we can. The Hartford Whalers have battled back from 2-0 down to take a 3-2 series lead after a 3-2 victory in Game 5. Spike Rowe ties it. Lucas Lydecker gets the game winner. Provorov was your first star, though, with a 3-point night. Lydecker, your second star for the GWG. And Jyrki Petrolainen, .925 save percentage, only gave up 2 goals. I can't be disappointed. 2 goals against in the last 3 games is outstanding. Aside from giving up 4 goals in Game 1, I don't blame him for Game 2. He has been spectacular, which is exactly what we needed. What a comeback after making the lineup changes. And now it's time for Game 6, although, of course, we do now see that the Connecticut Whale will be playing the Binghamton Devils in the second round. But we're not going to focus on that. It is time for Game 6 against the Blues. We became the first home team in this series to actually win a game at home. I'd like to stop the Blues from being able to do the same. I'd like to end this series right here and right now. So let's do it. First period, and that is just the perfect start. Lucas Lydecker scores 4 minutes and 55 seconds into the game, and then 2 minutes or so later, it's Max Jones getting on the board. Somehow, some way, he always finds a way to score in the playoffs. It's ridiculous. We outshot them 10-7, and we're up 2-0 on the scoreboard. What a perfect start. Can we keep it up in the second period? Oh my God, can we? Nolan Patrick gets his first of the series, if I'm not mistaken. Austin Watson gets another one, the ultimate playoff fourth liner, and Glenn Harkins gets his second of the series. 5-0 at the end of the second period, 25 shots to 12. The Whalers are 20 minutes away from moving on to the second round. The Blues gave us a little bit of a scare. We turned to the youth before Game 3, and what a difference that has made despite the injury to Phil Quick. Eric Tuzolino, also known as Mike Commodore, gets the goal to make it 6 for the second time in this series. 6-0 final on the scoreboard. Another shutout for Jyrki Petrolainen. Only a 15-save shutout. We outshot them 34-15, but a shutout is a shutout, and the Hartford Whalers win 4 straight games after dropping down 2-0 to start things off, and we are moving on. However, we're not going to be 100%. Phil Quick goes down to injury, and now we have lost arguably our second best defenseman in Eric Tuzolino, only 21 years old, which is ridiculous. He's going to be looking to get paid next season. However, we do have a player in the lineup, or in the system here, who may just deserve the call-up, although you could argue, is it time for Evan Wyman to get the opportunity, or do we go with the talisman known as Phil Crosby? Let me know what you guys think. I think for the moment, I'll call up Wyman, but if there is overwhelming support, we can give Phil Crosby the chance, although it's not like we don't have enough offensive defensemen in our lineup at this point in time. We do have quite a few. Spike Rowe, 3 points in, 4 games? Yeah, 3 points in 4 games. He was a +4. Job well done by the former second overall selection. We really turned things around. Again, on paper, our team might not be the best, but how often have we built super teams and failed? How many times with the Red Wings did we win 50 games, 60 games, and get eliminated in the first round or the second round? This game does not have a set way to find success. Oftentimes, sure, building the best team is obviously it's a good way to go, but it's not a guarantee. We won last year with a team that was really, slightly above average. Now you look at this team, might even be just an average team, perhaps below average. But then again, you look at what these guys did. Ralph McAllister scored in his first game. He was a +3. Trafford at least has an assist. Andrew Chuck has an assist and is a +2. They haven't been detriments to us so far. And as far as what we want to do with the lineup, I guess indeed Wyman would probably be on the left. Have Ribeiro there. In fairness, Phil Crosby, being able to put him on that side for the one-time shot could be a good way to go. Adam Larson will get the opportunity to step up, although I am going to put him with Provorov. We're going to have Appleby and Harkins as the top pairing regardless. And then Jyrki Petrolainen, game 1, absolutely his fault. And somehow, some way, I think he knew that. Because he bounces back. He gets 3 shutouts in the next couple of games. 3 shutouts. 4 wins. 3 of them were shutouts. A .947 save percentage. He's on pace not only for a Vezina, but a Conn Smythe. Because if he can keep playing at that level, we're not losing anytime soon. Not a chance. By the way, I think we might, we'll keep Pressburg. We'll keep Pressburg right there after that performance and a series-clinching goal. He absolutely deserves it. So there are a couple of things we could do with our lineup moving forward as we wait for certain players to return from injury for the moment. We'll follow along with the Connecticut Whale. They won game 1 by the score of 2-0. It's time for game 2, and it's a 5-4 victory. So the Connecticut Whale marching on. They're 5-2 so far in the postseason. 3 straight wins, outscoring the Binghamton Devils 7-4 over the first 2 games. Now the question is, who are the Whalers playing in the next round? Before we find out, I simply want to say, if you enjoyed this episode, you know what you got to do as far as liking the video and subscribing if you have not done so. Although somebody did ask me to show off AHL scoring, I completely forgot to do that. Phil Crosby, dominant once again as a defenseman with 68 points. Spike Rowe had 47 points in 82 games. And from there, I'm just going to scroll down. But you can see there was some pretty good point totals. I'm not complaining about those point totals at all. Goaltending, Jones was our starter. He had a .922. Victor Kuhlman with a .918 in 27 appearances. We'll take a look league-wide. But you guys know what to do. Like and subscribe if you have not already done so. I need to say that like every other goddamn YouTuber on the planet. Or I can try to be edgy and just be like, oh, I don't care if you like and subscribe. Everybody cares if you like and subscribe. Every YouTuber cares about that subscriber number. And if they say that they don't, they're fucking liars. Because everybody does. If you have the choice between 100K subscribers and 20, what do you think you're going to want? Come on now. Oh, I'd be just as happy if I... Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, for me, I'm not going to say, like, oh, I'd be just as happy if I had 100K as the 7K I have now. Fuck no. I want 100K subs, as does everybody else. So like and subscribe, damn it, if you haven't already done so. We're nowhere near 100K, but 10K is a possibility, and that's the first step. So help me get there. Don't know why I went on this rant. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. If you're not following me on either of those platforms, you really should do so. Twitch, of course, because I live stream every goddamn night. Clearly, I just mentioned how I have like 20 hours over the past 3.5, 4 days. I'm on there quite a bit. Also, Twitter, updates, random stuff. I am funny occasionally. Just ask X-Tech about me absolutely burning him, or about my great Jonathan Quick tweet, or hashtag bounce. If you don't know what that is, shame on you. The Hartford Whalers, in the next episode, will be taking on the Winnipeg Jets, who beat the Calgary Flames in 6 games. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I am certainly not. But maybe if it ends quickly enough, mercifully, maybe just possibly we're gonna die, but we might get to the draft if we get swept. So that's something to look forward to. I thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.